So just taking your time in a relaxed and easy way, acknowledging this transition from walking, and just get nice and comfortable in seated position. And we're going to just allow a couple of minutes for everybody to get back in their places with bright Dharma faces. And, uh, um, and then we're going to have a guided sit. We're going to play around with that quality of attention, that lens, that in a sense focuses the sky or allows the sky to be broad and open. So I'm going to wait just another minute here, make sure that everybody's back. And as you prepare for this sitting period, just, kind of acknowledging yourself, noticing how you are in the moment. And there's this sense of permission and acceptance and inclusion for how you are, just as you are right now. Maybe there's a fair amount of thoughts ricocheting around or whatever. And just to know that you have a hall pass. You can't do this wrong. And so I'm going to go ahead and invite you to just close your eyes and, well, actually, excuse me, before you do, what I'd like for you to do is just let your eyes wander around the space that you're in and take in the objects, walls, windows, maybe some art or books or furniture. Just noticing, and in a way, this is sort of, it locates you, but it's also an acknowledgement of the surroundings. And but then we can shift our attention, and as we continue to let our eyes move about and recognizing the objects, just notice if there's a shift when you move from taking in the objects to shift to acknowledging and recognizing the space, the openness in which all of this occurs. As I see out the windows, I can visually see more space, but I'm less connected to the actual objects. And it's almost like my eyes focus a little bit differently. I maybe can feel in just acknowledging and registering visually the space around me. I personally feel a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of settling of the energy of my body. So having taken in visually the sense of space around you, now I'm going to invite you to come back to center. Let your eyes gently close. And take a nice breath and just allow yourself to arise and to arrive. And having visually sort of registered that sense of spaciousness around you, I'm now going to invite you to do something that at one level might seem impossible because we don't have nerves outside of our bodies. So of course you can't actually feel the space around you. But if you could, what does space feel like? We're just playing with the attention now, playing with the possibility that we can feel space itself. It's actually another element that makes up our bodies. Our bodies take up space, just like earth, air, fire, and water. Heaviness, movement, temperature, and wetness. We also have a sense of space within us. Can we feel that sense of space around us? And just notice as you allow your, in a sense, imagination, or maybe there's almost a physical sense of the space around you. Maybe you have a blanket, or there's clothes on your body. But if we just allow our attention to register and feel out into the sense of space around us, just noticing, well, how far out do I feel that sense of space? Maybe near my body, on my skin, I can feel the contact of clothes or what I'm sitting on. Maybe close around my body, there's a sense of warmth or coolness, possibly a sense of vibration, whatever. But as I allow my attention just to be very relaxed and open and feel out into the space around me, if there's sort of a barrier that I feel out to, and just acknowledge that barrier. What does that barrier feel like? Is it a fuzziness or a hardness? Does it sort of do you have a memory of the room or the space that you're in? It's whatever you're noticing is perfect. And there's an invitation that if there's a memory of the room that you're in or other sensations that you're feeling, to kind of let those, acknowledge those, and sort of in a sense, let those sit to the side and allow the attention just to connect with the openness, with space. Beyond the walls of the room that you're in, there is more space. Even the earth itself takes up space. There's space below you, above you, on all four sides, spherically, in all directions. There's space. So what we're doing is we're really connecting with that sky-like aspect of awareness itself, of natural awareness. And so noticing any boundaries, any sensations, letting that sit to the side, and noticing if it's possible that maybe this sense of space does not have a boundary, that it's just simple openness. Things may be moving inside of that space, thoughts, bodily sensations, sounds, images that play through your mind. But the space itself, does it move? Or is it at rest? Is it still? We're going to take a couple of minutes here and just allow our attention to register in whatever way it does. Just basic, open, still space. The space around you. noticing that this space is not just dead vacuum. It also has this capacity to receive, to know, to notice itself. Just being with this open, receptive, unbounded space, the other element. Having acknowledged and attended to, allowed the attention to connect with, to almost physically feel out into the space around us. We're now going to invite the attention back into our bodies and just feel our bodies at their most basic level. A sense of earth or weight, which expresses as a heaviness or lightness, hardness or softness. Might notice that on our sit bones or where our feet are making contact. And some sense of movement. The breath rises and falls. There's movement. We know we're breathing because we can feel the movement. And we might be aware of other pulses or tinglings, vibrations, sometimes stabbing sensations. Some areas of our body might feel somewhat tight, contracting. Some areas might feel expanding, expansive. There's also temperature, the fire element. You might feel in certain areas of our body some sense of heat, in other areas a sense of coolness. I know my feet feel kind of cool right now. And then there's the water element. I can most directly feel that in my mouth right now, the saliva. It's wetness, stickiness. So these are all aspects of our physical felt experience that we can directly sense and feel. At some level, they're sort of obvious. But there's, they're known as the four elements, but there's actually another element. It's much more subtle. And yet, we're so used to it, it's so natural. It's the space that our bodies take up. I have a perception and a feeling that my chin is some distance away from my pelvis. I have a sense of the space that my body takes up and that's necessary for my survival. If I'm not aware of my space, I might walk out into traffic. I might stand in front of a speeding baseball. So we have a natural, innate sense of space. And as we feel into our bodies and we can let the weight and the movement and the temperature and the wetness kind of be their own thing, but differentiate out and invite our attention to connect with space itself in our bodies, the openness. Those sensations at play might be moving and morphing and shifting. But the space within us, is that at rest? Is that still? What does that openness of our bodies feel like? Again, allowing the attention to let the other elements kind of sit to the side. For now, we've got the invitation and permission to connect with this most subtle of elements, and yet so natural of an element. Just space inside our bodies. And now allowing your attention to open up and extend beyond your body, but including your body. Again, our invitation is to connect with this specific element of space. Does the space inside your body feel like the space outside of your body? If it feels like, oh, well, the space inside my body is heavier or denser, then actually what we're noticing is the earth element of weight. And go, oh, right, okay, so I can allow that to sit to the side. And just connect with that raw, basic openness. Oh, the space inside my body is kind of warm. It's different than the outside space. Well, that's the temperature or fire element. There's a vibration in my body, that's the movement or air element. Just allowing the attention to be inclusive of this open, still space, unbounded, undifferentiated, without division, like the sky, clouds pass So this is just your basic nature. It's how things actually are. In the natural state of natural awareness. This is open receptivity, nothing to do, nothing to know, nothing to figure out. Just resting in the suchness of here. Life receiving itself, space, the sky holding the clouds. No you, no separation, just what is happening and being known effortlessly.